dedication, determination, and teamwork mold champions. Teams use these qualities for the ultimate goal. A champion will be crowned next on Fox Sports Net.
Football programs in the state has its sights set on yet another championship. The one thing standing in the way, a team making its first ever appearance at the Pontiac Silverdome. It's the Division III championship game as we wrap up a weekend of football between the Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison and the Trojans of Fruitport. Hello again, everyone. Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson. And Farmington Hills Harrison, John, almost needs no introduction anymore. They're going for their 5th consecutive state championship, and they feature 2 of the most exciting players ever in the state, Drew Stanton and wide receiver Agim Shabai.
Dan, you're talking about one of the most prolific passing combinations ever in the history of Michigan high school football. Those 2 have combined for over 4,000 yards in total offense, a very lethal threat.
Head coach of the Fruitport Trojans, Steve Wilson, has described this as a magical season, the first unbeaten season for his team in 29 years. They're used to being the underdog, and he says it doesn't bother them being the underdog again.
We know that we are the underdogs. This is our first time to the Dome. Farmington Hills Harrison has been to the finals and won state championships in a number that doesn't even equal our appearances in the playoffs, let alone the finals. It is a David and Goliath kind of matchup, but we welcome it. We think that we can play with them.
Seems like the entire town of Fruitport has made the journey to the Pontiac Silverdome from the west side of the state. They're hoping the Silverdome will be the house of blues tonight for the Hawks. We've got more on Fox Sports. Dan Dickerson and John Wangler back at the Pontiac Silverdome. Our national anthem with the Fruitport Marching Band. Championship game. Trevor Thompson will be patrolling the sidelines tonight.
Thank you very much, Dan. And we heard Steve Wilson of Fruitport refer to this matchup earlier on as David versus Goliath. But his team refuses to be intimidated. In fact, they're wearing T-shirts that say, "Respect all, fear none." Now, they intend to slay Goliath using the running game. They know they must keep the ball out of Drew Stanton's hands, so they'll go to the wing T. Wilson and I talked about how tough it is to come back from a deficit in that offense, but he said that's all they know, so regardless of the score, they will live and die with the wing T here tonight. Back up to you.
And there is a look at the head coach, Steve Wilson, 13 years at Fruitport, fine 86-42 record. He has brought his team to the Silverdome for the very first time. He's good friends with the head coach of Farmington Hills Harrison, John Harrington. In his 32nd year, he is the only coach the Hawks have ever known. And John, you look at that record, it's overwhelming. 297 wins, and as we mentioned, 4 straight state championships.
Well, Dan, you're talking about a guy, one of only 3 high school coaches to be in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, and that about says it all right there.
Fruitport will get the ball first. Kicking off for the Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison, Mike Klusterman. We were watching him in the warm-ups. This young man has a very good foot. He was booming his kicks deep in the warm-ups. Mike Boone is deep, as is Mark Langlois. We are just about ready to get underway for the Division III championship game. High end-over-end kick. Langlois 1 yard deep, and that's the automatic touchback, 1 yard deep into the end zone. So Fruitport will start at their own 20-yard line. Wing T offense, and that means they will run a lot. John Andrew Pendle is the man who makes it go, John.
He's very good. He runs that offense to perfection. Not a great runner, pretty accurate passer, but he's a magician with that football, faking and leading. He's been running it for a long time. He does a tremendous job executing.
He captains the T, the wing T. It's a precision run-oriented offense. You will rarely see a wide receiver split out in this game. Langlois running, left tackle, stood up and driven down to the turf at the 21. Let's take a look at the backs and receivers. Langlois is the main yardage man, gaining almost 1,600 yards this year. Greg Schultz is a fine blocker in this wing T offense. The offensive line averages about 232 pounds, thanks mainly to the 2 tackles, Greg Smith at 264 pounds and Jack Numerdorf, 6 feet, 281 pounds. First drive of the game. Give his right side, and there's a little bit of running room. Across the 25-yard line goes Mark Langlois. Now we look at the Farmington Hills defense. Across that front line, Hocking and Kuklo. Joe Graham is at 285 pounds. Jake Ganem, Bill Richardson, the linebackers. And you look in that defensive backfield, John, you see a couple of familiar names that we talked about on the open. Stanton and Shabai. They have not started much on defense this year, but John Harrington says they will start and play a lot in this game. On 3rd and short, it looks like the Trojans are going to come up just a little bit short of the first down, and they'll have to punt it away on their first possession. Greg Schultz, the ball carrier, Shabai in on the tackle.
Well, you see Shabai coming up there, getting his nose in, getting his first contact, and getting the cobwebs out.
Shabai and Woods will drop deep to take this punt. Rob Newton punted away. And it's off the side of his foot, and they're hoping for a good bounce. Instead, the ball goes back inside their own 45. So one of the most prolific and powerful offenses this state has ever seen at the high school level will take over in Fruitport territory. Take a look at Drew Stanton. He didn't become the starter until the 5th game of last year, and John, he has proven that he belongs as the starting quarterback.
Well, it's pretty obvious. A great move there. They moved Shabai from that quarterback position and put Stanton in, and I think it worked out well for both of them. They'll both be going to Michigan State and Division I football priors.
4 wide receivers for Drew Stanton on first down. Back to throw. Flips it right side. A little bit of running room out in the flat. Marcus Woods along the sidelines has the first down inside the 30.
Great call there, opening up the offense for Farmington Harrison. Out of the shotgun, Stanton, just a little screen there to Woods. He looks off, comes back to the field. They give time to set up that wedge. Look at that great block, nice cut there by Woods.
You can see why a lot of people are excited about Drew Stanton. Look how long he looked left before he threw back right.
Move that secondary.
That is a very confident and poised looking quarterback. Here's the pitch to Marcus Woods around left end. Fruitport swarms him inside the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the backs and receivers Drew Stanton will be working with in this game. Marcus Woods, perhaps just as talented, at least he is according to his head coach, John Harrington, as Drew Stanton and Nagin Shabai. He just hasn't been talked about as much. He's just a junior. Offensive line, all seniors. They average about 210 pounds across the front line for Farmington Hills Harrison. Second down, 7 to go. First drive of the game for the Hawks. Stanton is rolling right. Under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's almost intercepted at the 5-yard line. Greg Maude was there, and that's got to be a big, big key, putting pressure on Farmington Hills and Drew Stanton.
Great pressure applied there by Stark. Stanton had a lot of time. He was back there, then out of nowhere, Stark broke free, forced Stanton really to get rid of the football before he wanted to. That's one of the keys, that they got to pressure Stanton.
So third down, and this would be a early boost for Fruitport if they could stop this powerful Hawks offense on their first drive. Stanton under center. Fruitport crowd coming to their feet on the near side. Fakes and rolls right. Has a man in the flat, and it's caught, and it's a first down before he's driven out of bounds. Charles Pickett, one of the many targets for Drew Stanton, picks up the first down at the 14.
There's a bootleg play now. Tremendous fake there. You see him hang on his fake, comes out, throws a rope there into the flat. Very well executed play. They had a guy going deep and a guy in the flat. Very, very good execution by Harrison.
Boy, Drew Stanton looks like a college quarterback, doesn't he? Only watched him a few plays, but you can tell he is very, very polished. Handoff left side. Very short gain. Let's take a look at that Fruitport defense. Along that front line, Robert Stark, the senior, very physical player, has given opposing teams fits all year long. Wilson and Williams, the linebacker. Williams has a great nose for the ball. And then you look at Langlois in the defensive backfield along with Mott. Two of the key players defensively. Langlois, of course, the key offensively as well. He'll be a busy young man tonight. Second down and 8. Flags fly, and we're going to have a motion, it looks like. Play is whistled dead. Officials confer and talk things over.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offense. Remains second down.
The big guys up there got a little jumpy.
Penalty backs them outside the 15 to the 18. Second and 13. First possession in a scoreless game for Farmington Hills Harrison. Motion man is Shabai. Stanton in the flat as a receiver. Inside the 10-yard line after the hit. Found Shabai in the right flat after he went in motion. Robert Stark, one of the tackles, came back to make the tackle at the 10.
Good hustle there by Stark to get out there. Just a simple little drop back here. They had Shabai in motion. They rolled to get away from pressure. Threw a rope out there. Shabai makes a real nice move. Great hustle there by the middle guy.
Nice little couple of moves to get the extra yardage. Wow. Another third down. Look at Stanton way out by the tackles, calling his signals to his wide receiver Shabai. He's looking for him. At the 5, Shabai turns it upfield. Touchdown!
I'll tell you, that's confidence, isn't it? He walked right out to Shabai and told him, hey, you're getting the ball. There's not much anybody can do about it. Just off a 3-step drop here. Going to his left, just a little out cut, a 5-yard out. Shabai makes a great cut. Look at that extra effort.
Or the strength of Shabai. Breaking out of 2 tacklers to get into the end zone. Looked like he was going to be stopped at about the 2. Klusterman's extra point up and good. Farmington Hills Harrison, the 4-time defending state champions in Division III, has the early lead thanks to Agin Shabai. The MHSAA football finals on Fox Sports Net are brought to you by Bell Tire. Nobody comes close, nobody's closer. Burger King, have it your way. Michivan commuter van pooling, take the work out of getting to work. And by Wallside Windows, most preferred, most preferred. Harrison with a Stanton to Shabai hookup in the early going. And they've got the 7-0 lead right away. Langlois and Boone. It'll be Boone taking the ball on the 4-yard line. A little bit of room across the 25-yard line. Fruitport will start its second possession at their own 27. John, going back to the touchdown. Shabai and Stanton, we talked about in the open.
Just that little screen out there to Woods. Now watch this cut. Woods, just a junior, but another Division I prospect. Look at Shabai on a quick out. Look at that second effort. Battles to get in the end zone.
So Fruitport down 7 in the early going, movement on the right side of the line. But John, you were talking about right before the snap, Stanton went out. It's almost like he yelled out the play to Shabai.
Right, I mean, you talk about confidence. He walked right out there and basically told him, I mean, hey, the ball's coming to you, whether it was an in-cut or an out-cut.
First down.
John Harrington says that's one of the fun things that he's been able to watch the last 2 years, as these two have gotten on the same page better and better game by game. They can do things like that and nobody can stop them.
Well, you know, Shabai playing quarterback helps out a lot too, because he can think how a quarterback would think out of his receiver position.
Give is up the middle, everybody looking at Langlois, but it's Greg Schultz banging up the middle for the first down up to the 35. Excuse me, a couple yards short of the first down, but a good pickup of about 10 yards.
Watch this ball fake now. The give is to the fullback, number 33. Great fake, extra effort. That Schultz averaging 6.8 yards a carry out of the fullback position.
He's an outstanding blocker, according to his head coach, Steve Wilson. Langlois carrying tacklers with him on second, and Shorn has the first down up to the 40-yard line. Bill Richardson brings him down. Take a look at the numbers for Mark Langlois, averaging almost 10 yards a carry this year. And as you see, 23 touchdowns.
This is exactly what Fruitport has to do. They have to work their offense to perfection, grind it out, long drives, keep working the middle.
First down, running room, right side. John Andrew Pendle picks up about 5 yards.
Great ball fake there by Pendle. As he reverse pivots, he rides Langlois into the line, keeps it on his hip. You talk about having to read your keys. I'll tell you, Farmington here, they don't see this offense very often at this side of the state. This is really going to be a challenge for their defense.
We've seen a lot of wing T offenses this weekend, and early on you can tell Fruitport by far has the best execution. Running left side now, that's Philip Wilson. Aaron Kennedy brings him down, but he's up near a first down, and Fruitport now starting to move the ball on the ground. Philip Wilson in that backfield, another back who averages, about 10 yards a carry. He's the son of the head coach, Steve Wilson. Also a key player on defense. Now the Fruitport crowd making noise on 3rd and short. And Fruitport will pick it up.
Nice execution there, just drive blocking coming off the line. Condini, the captain, coming up from the strong safety position. Nice job by Langlois, just bouncing outside. It was closed inside. He bounces off tackle to pick up a huge first down, keep the drive alive.
So the ideal drive, John, would be about what, 73 yards, 16 plays, take about 6 minutes off the clock.
Hey, just like you draw it up there.
Farmington Hills jumping off as Chris Kuklo.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense. Remains first down.
take a look here. But we'll get to it after this play. The beauty of this offense is they have 6 plays right and 6 plays left, and everything looks the same. I mean, really, it's a beautiful offense.
It's a precision offense, run by precision with their quarterback, John Andrew Pendle. Dave Condeni on the stop after a very short gain up the middle. Langlois the carry. But the whole key, according to the head coach Steve Wilson, carrying out those fakes, and they are doing it on every single play. We saw that time Pendle running way outside left. Didn't take anybody with him that time, but he has a couple of other times.
Dan, the first thing they have to block in this offense, then they have to carry out their fakes, then they get to run with the football.
2nd and 4 from the Hawks 42-yard line. Carry is left side. Wilson finding the going tough, but to his credit, he gained 2 yards when it looked like he might lose a yard. They'll set up now.
Another thing about this offense, these kids have been running this since junior high. That's the system they have out in Fruitport. They've grown up with it. They're very, very confident with it. I mean, they're like magicians. They have their steps down. All the running backs are very unselfish. All of them block, fake, and run hard with the football.
Fruitport crowd again rises to its feet on a 3rd and 2. Up the middle. No, the fake and the carry and the fumble, and loose ball at the 35. Pendle coughed it up on the big hit. Let's see who's got it at the bottom of the pile. The Hawks come up with a fumble. Pendle had the first down at the 35, and the ball popped out. Agim Shabai in on the hit.
Watch this, just a fake reverse pivot, fake a trap. Great job by Pendle keeping the ball on his hip. You got to lock it up there. Tremendous hit there. Shabai, that was by Stanton.
That was
Stanton made that big hit.
Well, Farmington Hills Harrison in possession after this. Hawks have it, leading by 7. Stanton under center, back to throw. Facing some pressure, but he's got some room to run. Up near midfield. Gain of almost 15 yards for Drew Stanton. Finally brought down by the nose tackle, Greg Schultz.
Just a straight drop back. They put Woods in motion to the short side of the field. Pressure, tremendous pressure there by Stark. Stanton doing a great job getting out of the pocket, picking up yardage.
He's part of that rushing offense as well. We saw the rather gaudy numbers for some of the other backs. He's averaging 7 yards a carry.
Good feet, excellent feet.
First and 10 at the 49. Marcus Woods carrying up the middle, not finding a whole lot of running room. Marcus Woods very difficult to bring down. 5'8", 180 pounds. He runs low to the ground, and Harrington says his 1,480 yards this year would put him really in a category he thinks of just about any other back in the state, especially when you think about the fact their offense is usually done by the middle of the 3rd quarter.
He's getting a lot of looks from Division I schools. He's a great prospect.
Gain of 2 on first down for Marcus Woods. 7-0, Hawks in the lead. Stanton fakes once, twice. Fruitport not fooled, but he's got Shabai out on the right flat, and he's dragged out of bounds. Oh, a rope to Agim Shabai down at the 25.
Unbelievable. Tremendous execution. Look at this bootleg, and look at the way Stanton hangs on the fake. They come back a little, there, gives him an open arm, hides the ball, and comes out, just throws a rope about 35 yards on an outcut. And that throw right there is really how they judge a quarterback. If you can hit that outcut at about 15 yards, the ball's got to travel about 35, 40 yards. He threw that on a line.
And Fruitport wants timeout. Farmington Hills has moved it down to the 25-yard line. Let's head down to the sidelines and Trevor Thompson.
Dan, thanks a lot. We were talking earlier about Marcus Woods being a junior. He'll be the only starter coming back for Farmington Hills next year. And John Harrington said he will definitely get a lot of attention because he'll be the only starter back, but he'll also be getting a lot more carries for this offense. And if he can get 1,400 more carries, roughly the same amount he did this year, he'll become the school's all-time leading rusher. So he's someone to watch out for, not only today, but again next year for Farmington Hills.
Again, his head coach puts him right in the same class with Stanton and Shabai, who are both headed to Michigan State next year. If you're a Spartan fan and you're watching this game, you're watching maybe next year's tandem. They had a chance to practice at Michigan State this week on the Michigan State field, and John Harrington talking with head coach Bobby Williams of the Spartans, and he said Shabai definitely will not be redshirted. And then with Smoker at quarterback, it's uncertain about Drew Stanton, but you get the feeling, the way you're watching him here, John, this is a guy who could compete for the starting job.
He reminds me of another Drew who played in the state of Michigan over there from Brighton and played a little football at the University of Michigan. Very, very similar athletes.
1st and 10, Stanton back to throw, in trouble. He's going to take it and head upfield, and Fruitport does a nice job of closing in and shutting him down. Matt Seitzma on the tackle.
Just a 3-step drop. Nice defense there by Fruitport. Stanton makes a little something out of nothing, and Seitzma did a good job closing on him.
Well, the recognition right away that whatever they wanted to do left side wasn't there, and to tuck it in and run upfield.
Seitzma fended off that block and fell into the play. Nice tackle there on Stanton.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line. Stanton will give it around left end. Shabai on the reverse inside the 20. Gets it down to right about the 15-yard line, very close to a 1st down.
Bringing Shabai out of that slot position, just a little counter with Shabai. They had him lined up in the slot. They brought him back. Nice fake. Look at them get out there and block. He doesn't need much. You don't have to stay on your block much. Shabai sets it up nice there. Very good. Well executed.
1st down at the 14-yard line. Shabai hasn't carried the ball a lot, but like the other backs, about 10 yards a crack when he does. He's in motion right. Stanton, give it off to Woods up the middle. He fights for yards across the 10, keeps those legs going, and he gets about 6-7 yards.
Woods has got a very nice body lean. He stays low, and as thick as he runs low to the ground. He's very, very hard to bring down.
Stanton all the way over to the sidelines to have a quick word with his coaches before this 2nd down play. Hawks lead it by 7. And they're trying to add to their lead late in the 1st quarter. We count down the final seconds. Woods up the middle. Good push by the offensive line. He's close to a 1st down. Schultz and Stark in on the tackle.
The strength of their defense inside there, Schultz and Stark. They're basing out of a odd front, a 5-2. They'll do some slants and angles. They're trying to mix it up, create some havoc for Farmington Harrison. Whatever they can do, they're going to throw a lot of looks at Farmington Harrison and try to make them block them and block the angles.
Came up about a half yard short of the 1st down. Final play of the 1st quarter coming up. 3rd and less than a yard for Farmington Hills Harrison. Woods right side, flipped up into the air, and he might not have gotten it. Greg Schultz is the one who came in and submarined him.
Schultz stood him up. Very good effort there. Good effort by Woods. Schultz doing a nice job standing him up.
And he did not get the 1st down. They signal that it will be 4th down. We have come to the end of the 1st quarter. When we come back, it'll be 4th and short. The only score of the 1st quarter, Agim Shabai on a 2nd effort. Okay. It's 4th and inches for the Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison on the Fruitport 4-yard line. And they're going for it. Sneak by Stanton, and he got it. Across the 4, down to the 3.
I'd say that was a pretty safe play, Dan.
7-0 after 1 quarter. Fruitport, if not feeling good, I think they at least feel they can play with this team when a lot of people thought they couldn't.
Well, you know, we talked with Coach Wilson this week, and those guys were not going to be intimidated. They hung in there. They're ready to come down there. They're going to give it their best shot. You know, take a look here. Good push there by the center. Stanton just coming right off his back, picking up the first down.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line. They stay with their short yardage offense. Hit in the backfield, and Woods got up, gained another yard. Wilson with the initial hit, and then Schultz finished him off.
Great penetration here by Wilson. Look at him shoot the gap, coming through, untouched. Great, great tackle.
How did Woods gain 2 yards, get back 2 yards after being hit? That's a tremendous job by Woods just to get 2. Or I should say get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's that old touch the line drill, keeping your balance. Excellent athleticism by Woods.
2nd and goal, Shabai in motion. Stanton looking for him. He found another receiver for the touchdown. Terrell Mayberry with the catch. And Harrison leads by 13.
Real simple, just a little flood to the field there. Take a look, Stanton on a soft roll. Little fake, just a little turn out. Excellent job. They got the defender on their hip. Came down, gave him a nice target. Stanton delivered the ball right where it had to be.
Mike Klusterman on for the extra point. 2nd attempt of the night. His kick is up and good. And in the opening minutes of the 2nd quarter, the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks have struck again on another touchdown pass. This time Stanton to Mayberry. A look at the 2 head coaches, Steve Wilson on the left, the head coach of Fruitport, and John Harrington on the right. Let's take a look at the Wallside Windows road to the finals. It's been a relatively easy road for Farmington Hills Harrison. Very physical game with Saginaw last week, but they've outscored their opponents 164-28. Fruitport has had a tougher time. 21-18 win over East Lansing last week. They've had 3 very tight games. They've beaten some good teams along the way. They've been the underdog just about the entire playoff run to the finals. Langlois across the 20. A little bit of running room. Cuts it back up inside to gain a few extra yards across the 30. A couple of good returns by Mark Langlois.
Fumble off that hit by Stanton. Great shot there by Shabai. Here he goes. Right in there to Mayberry.
14-0 lead for the Hawks. Give is up the middle across the 35 to the 40. Greg Schultz, the ball carrier. And I have to tell you, a lot of people with their eyes on Pendle and Langlois. Scoring drive by Farmington Hills Harrison. You can see it 11 plays and 65 yards, capped off the 4-yard touchdown toss to Mayberry. But what faking that time by the quarterback, Pendle.
Keep your eye on the ball.
1st and 10 across the 40. Give this time is Langlois right up the middle and a good gain on 1st down. John Harrington was saying, the head coach for Farmington Hills, they were practicing the demo squad with smaller footballs this week, just so they could get the defense used to the idea that they wouldn't see the ball. He said, what we have to do is read the guys on the offensive line, the blocking,
read your keys,
and tackle everybody.
Well, maybe they should have turned the lights out, Dan. These guys really have done a nice job on these last 2 possessions moving the football outside of that fumble.
2nd and 5 from the 46-yard line. Not much running room up the middle, but Schultz is keeping the legs churning, and he crosses the 50, and he's right at the 1st down marker. Aaron Kennedy brought him down, but that's the 2nd time we've seen Schultz run into somebody right at the line and gain 5 or 6 yards.
Take a look here. The give is inside to the fullback. Great fake there by Langlois. Look at him keeping his legs going. I'll tell you, all those guys run hard. I mean, that's the reason why they're averaging what they're averaging, but you got 3 threats back there in the backfield as well as the quarterback.
Didn't get the first down. It's 3rd and inches. 1 of 3 on 3rd downs for Fruitport tonight. Carey is up the middle. That's the coach's son, Philip Wilson, and he's got the first down.
Nice job by Wilson, just covering up. Captain Condini comes up, makes the stop up in the strong safety position.
And this Fruitport crowd is starting to make some noise. Fruitport is a town of about 1,000 over near Muskegon. Get the feeling that just about the whole town is here at the Pontiac Silverdome tonight.
I hope someone turned the lights out because they've brought them all.
Fake, deep pass, right side, Wilson, and it's knocked away at the last second by Shabai.
That was a well-executed play, fake. Take a look here. Great fake inside it. A double fake. He came back. He was open just for a brief second. Shabai making a great play there to knock that ball down.
That faking by Pendle held everybody in tight except for Shabai.
Nice recovery speed by Shabai. Very nice.
John Harrington says he runs a legitimate 4.340. Schultz, the ball carrier, stacked up, but he spins out of the tackle and gains an extra couple of yards. Call it a pickup of 4, setting up 3rd and 6. Dave Condeni in on the tackle.
Senior captain.
John Andrew Pendle quickly over for a word on the sidelines with his coaches for this 3rd down call. Trojans will only throw the ball 3 or 4 times a game and almost never in an obvious passing situation.
And that's the tough thing about this offense if they get behind.
Tosses to Langlois. He's at the 40-yard line, but no further. Stacked up there and driven back. Drew Stanton, Shabai leading the charge of Hawks tacklers.
That play right there has really been their most successful play all season. Just a toss sweep to Langlois on either side. They've gained a lot of yardage on that play throughout the season. Really their bread and butter.
Shabai is back deep to receive this punt from Rob Newton. Newton averaged about 30 yards a punt. He had a short punt his first time. And now they shift formations, and it looks like there was a bounce back to the punter. Looked like they were going to maybe fake it for a moment. Now Shabai, the fair catch at the 15-yard line. And that's where the Hawks will start their 3rd drive of the night. The television's most unique brand of football commentary airs each Sunday with NFL This Morning. Now a full 2 hours to get you ready for that day's NFL action. NFL This Morning tomorrow morning at 10:30 on Fox Sports Net. So Fruitport again picks up a couple of first downs, but can't sustain the drive. Last drive ended with a fumble. This drive ends on downs. Drew Stanton hands off Shabai, and he's dragged down in the backfield. Good, quick movement in the backfield. It looked like
Stark.
Jolman.
Great penetration there.
Nope, that was Robert Stark
77,
again.
Robert Stark. Excellent swim move there by Stark. He was not fooled.
That's a loss back inside the 10, loss of 6. 2nd down, 17. Shabai, the motion man. Stanton rolling right. Facing some pressure. His throw is caught at the 25-yard line, across the 30-yard line, up to the 33-yard line. Good hard running by Charles Pickett, and a first down for Farmington Hills Harrison.
Excellent job there by Pickett. Finding the hole, the seam, out of the shotgun. Little soft roll by Stanton. He plants his feet. That time Pickett did a great job for getting in there. Boone, nice job coming over to make that tackle. Knows he's going to get hit, steps up, settles right in the soft spot. Excellent play. Well, you can't get much better than that. As you see on the screen, Stanton has seen an all but one pass and really directing this offense.
Now a quick toss out left side to Shabai. He's got running room down that far sideline. Almost broke the last tackle before he's hauled down, but not until he got inside the 35-yard line. It was John Rumpel who made the tackle that preserved perhaps another touchdown.
Yeah, that's almost not fair. They do a little flanker screen like that, gets Shabai out there, quick step, just gets rid of the football. Look at them get the lineman out there in front of Shabai. He does not need much. You give him a little screen and he is gone.
Dan Bannister, the left tackle, out there leading the way and throwing the block that freed Shabai.
Bannister showing some good athleticism getting out there in front of Shabai.
Gain of 34 yards. Stanton back to throw, looking deep, and this one is knocked away by the Trojans defense. John Rumpel again.
Nice play by Rumpel, getting right in the passing lane. They tried to come back to Shabai on a little like banana out and about 20 yards. Soft roll again with Stanton. Take a look there, just a little banana. He tried to, he should have, nice play there. He should have given it a little more air. Probably needed a little touch on that one. Wilson and Rumpel coming in making that play.
It was Wilson who tipped the ball that almost allowed Rumpel to pick it off. And now timeout is called. Farmington Hills Harrison wants to talk things over. Steve Wilson, the head coach for Fruitport, said before this game, all you really can do against Farmington Hills Harrison is try to make them earn their yards, which I thought was a good way of putting it. He said, you're not going to stop them. This is an offense that has scored 46 points a game. Right. Make them earn their yards. I thought that was a good way of putting it. Make them take a few plays to get down the field. And it seems like Fruitport, as well as Farmington Hills is playing, is making them earn their yards in the early going.
No, they are lining up and playing hard. There's no question. He wants to control the time of possession. He can't afford any mistakes. They almost have to play a perfect game as far as mistakes, no penalties. Right. And if they can control the line of scrimmage, they can cause Farmington Hills some fits. But they're going to need a few breaks.
They're going to need some breaks.
They need some breaks. They need an interception or a fumble or something to slow these guys down.
2nd down and 10 from the Fruitport 33. Stanton from the shotgun. Left side, Mayberry inside the 30. Gains about 6 yards. Craig Schultz up to make the tackle, getting some help from Langlois. You look at the pass-run mix, John, and
very consistent with what we've seen all year. They can go either way, and they can exploit both avenues of picking up yardage.
Another 3rd down for Farmington Hills Harrison. Doesn't seem like any distance is too far, though, for Stanton in this offense. 3rd and 3 here. Stanton's going to roll right, face heavy pressure, hit as he throws, and this one is off the fingertips of Agim Shabai. Again, it's Rumpel in coverage.
Nice job by Rumpel. The good thing, that time Fruitport applied some pressure there. Stanton really had to get rid of the football. Wilson coming through from his middle linebacker position. Just a little twist game inside. Watch Stanton have to throw the ball a little bit before he wanted to. Just off the hands. Would have been a great catch by Shabai.
Mike Klusterman will attempt a field goal. On the official statistics, credited with just 1 this year, and most likely, John, just because they've never had an opportunity or a need for a field goal. He's got a very, very good leg. 43-yard field goal attempt here. It's up. It is wide right. He just missed it to the right. And Fruitport gets a lift with a defensive stop of the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks. And they'll have the ball when we come back, trailing by 14. John Wangler, Dan Dickerson back at the Silverdome as we look at the play selection for the Trojans. We told you this team liked to run the ball, and you look here tonight, they're right about average with what they do during the season.
Looks to me like a pretty balanced offense there. Well, hey, if it works, don't fix it. Or if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess.
That too. They've moved the ball in each of their last 2 drives. Langlois, the ball carrier here, he gets 5 on first down. And they've had a consistent 4 to 6 yard average, I would say, John, in each of their last couple of drives running the ball against this defense.
Kendeny and Shabai coming up. Kendeny's been on 3-4 tackles already this game.
That was a big defensive stop, I thought, though. The way that Farmington's been moving the ball, hold them out of the end zone, hold them off the scoreboard, all of a sudden gives you a little bit of a boost.
Well, we talked about that little moral victory. You know, they got to take them in small doses, but like you said, hey, anything can happen. They come out of the half at 14-7. Who knows?
A little bit of delay down on the field. A couple of players had their helmets locked together, and they couldn't get them loose. What do you think they're saying to each other right there?
Well, they're coming out smiling, so.
Joe Graham and Jack Numerdor, the 2 players who were locked up.
They come out with big grins on their face.
Get to know each other a little bit better.
Hopefully they brush their teeth.
2nd down and 5. Wing T offense for Fruitport. The give is up the middle, and Schultz has no running room. Harrison is pointing like there was a fumble, and let's see. Officials have not given any indication. And indeed it is a fumble and a recovery by the Hawks, and a big, big turnover. Aaron Kennedy getting up off the bottom of that pile with the ball, and the Hawks get it right back on the 25 of Fruitport.
That one hurts.
Looked like Joe Graham, the one who just had his helmet locked up, was the one who caused the fumble.
Yeah, he got his hand on the ball in there, and this one's a tough one there for Fruitport.
Can't make Stanton work on a short field. 2 turnovers tonight. Woods hauled down. No, it's a keeper by Stanton inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown. What a fake to Woods. Stanton on a keeper, and he takes it in for the score.
Great call there by Farmington Harrison. Watch the fake on this one. Excellent. Now watch Stanton. 2 good moves. Breaks a tackle and just outruns him to the end zone.
Talk about a guy who sells the fakes. The extra point is up and good, and the Hawks make Fruitport pay immediately for the turnover. 2nd of the night, and boy, the air just went out on the Fruitport sideline.
I'll tell you that we just talked about a little moral victory there, and that one's just a backbreaker.
On the first play after the turnover, Stanton on a 25-yard touchdown run, and all of a sudden a 14-0 game has become 21-0.
That is about as fine a half as you can have as a quarterback here in a state championship football game.
Fruitport's sideline, you can see down a little bit, but you get the sense the way they played here in the first half, though, John, they're just going to keep coming right at the Hawks. They know they can move the ball. But 2 turnovers that really, really hurt. One while they were driving in Farmington Hills territory, and that time at their own 25.
This is a huge drive as far as trying to get some kind of points on the board, some way, somehow. Give them a little momentum going into half.
Langlois and Boone deep for Fruitport. Klusterman will kick it off for Farmington Hills Harrison. Drew Stanton has accounted for 3 touchdowns here in the first half. Thrown for 2 and run for 1. He and Shabai have been everything they've been billed to be. 2 very talented high school football players. Steve Wilson was saying they're 2 of the most talented players he's seen in all of his years of coaching, and to have them on the same team, he said, is just incredible. Langlois at the 13. Running room right side. Another good return. And look at him keeping those legs running. A late flag as he crosses the 35-yard line. Mark Langlois has been outstanding on kickoff returns in this game tonight. See if we get a late face mask or what the indication is.
Face mask, 5-yarder on the kicking team. First down.
Langlois setting it up really nice. Breaks to the outside here, coming in late. Get the late face mask.
5-yard step off puts the Trojans at their own 43. Good field position. 3:13 to go in the second quarter. Facing a 3-touchdown deficit. Langlois stood up and driven to the turf right at the line of scrimmage. Bill Richardson in there leading the charge.
Harrison not falling for that counter fake at all.
Arinde also in on the tackle for Farmington Hills Harrison. No gain on first down. Moving the ball has not been a problem for Fruitport tonight. Hanging on to the ball has been. More than 4,000 rushing yards for Fruitport this year. Quick toss. Langlois trying to turn the corner, but Farmington Hills Harrison just too quick. Terrell Mayberry out there, the leading man to bring him down. He got some help from his teammates, but it's again no gain on second down.
Just a little screen, kind of a toss sweep there to Langlois. Mayberry doing a great job coming up, open field tackle on a guy who's not very easy to bring down. Very nice corner work there by Mayberry.
Third down and 10 for Fruitport. Last 2 minutes of the first half of the Division III high school championship football game. Runner is Schultz across midfield, and he's got the first down. Boy, does he do a great job of just covering up the ball so that nobody can see it. That was actually Noah Ruffner in the game, and he did a great job. He just kind of hides behind his tackle.
Nice job. Way to fake.
Tell you, when a guy like that wraps his arms around the ball, it does look like they're using a smaller ball.
Mayberry coming up and having to make another tackle from his cornerback position.
Now they're going to try to throw downfield and almost intercepted. Mayberry again in coverage. Tight end Andy Rizzo, the intended receiver.
Yeah, they were lucky not to get that ball intercepted. Mayberry made a real nice break. He did a good job covering. Probably should have held on. Pendle probably should have held on to that football.
Pendle threw just 33 times through the first 12 games of this season. He completed 25. And when they threw, they were effective. Give right side. Again, good deception. Ruffner, the ball carrier. He picks up about 6 yards, but now the clock becomes a concern for Fruitport.
Another good run there by Ruffner. Just a little off tack, or a little trap, actually. He bounces it outside. Nice job there by Ruffner. He's had 2 fine carries here on this drive.
Ganem wrapped him up and brought him down. Fruitport taking their time. The clock is down under a minute now, and they've still got 39 yards to go if they want to get into the end zone. Pendle calling the signals on 3rd and 4. They're going to go deep, and this one is almost intercepted, almost caught by Langlois. Stanton back in coverage, and he did a nice job.
Just playing center field there that time. Stanton doing a great job reading Pendle's eyes. Again, the receiver was very well covered. He probably got to dump this one off. He just took it and heaved it, and Stanton was just sitting right there, almost made a big interception.
Surprised that for a passing team, all of their routes, with the exception of the quick toss to Langlois, have been 20, 30 yards downfield.
Yeah, they just they don't have a real intermediate to short passing game.
4th and 4. Pendle on the keeper has the first down. Inside the 30-yard line. And now you would expect Fruitport to burn a timeout.
Great job on the fake there by Pendle.
There's an injured player behind the play. Is that Rob Newton, the tight end? That's the left tackle, Greg Smith, on the ground. And the trainers will come out to take a look at him.
Take a look here. Excellent fake there by Pendle. Keeps the ball on his hip, fools everybody. Great cut there. Stanton came up to make the tackle. Pendle had an excellent cut. Got to hold on to that ball when he hits the ground there.
Well, you can see why Fruitport has been trouble for other teams this year. His faking is just not to be believed. If you, I mean, if you're down on the field trying to keep track of this.
He's a magician, and they all have those armbands. They do a great job covering up.
Greg Smith is the left tackle, and we see here, oh, his own teammate. And again, that was a case.
Right there, someone falling on the back of his leg.
Wilson, Philip Wilson, again, though, John, a case of someone carrying out a fake to, just like they're told to do when he gets knocked down because he carried out his fake so well. They continue to attend to Greg Smith down on the field.
Well, you hate to see that. That's a tough injury when someone falls on the back of your legs when you don't see him.
He is up. Gets a good round of applause from the fans here at the Silverdome, and does not look good right now for Greg Smith. He can't put any weight whatsoever on that right leg. Oh.
That's tough.
Josh Sherman is the backup, 6'1", 279-pound junior. He'll take over at left tackle. Fruitport ready to come up to the line, but the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks decide they'll call timeout before they run a play. The Detroit Sports Report, delivering 30 minutes of sports news dedicated to Detroit's home teams. The Detroit Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. John, 36 seconds to work with. Couple of timeouts left, but again, a running offense that has not shown it can throw the ball. How do you get into the end zone?
You may want to look for, they've done some deception here. They may come back with some type of reverse or a counter, some kind of trickery, because they, out of their basic offense, they're gonna, doesn't quite get it done down in this area, especially with the kind of time that's on the clock.
Fruitport talking things over with their head coach, Steve Wilson. They have shown they can drive the ball. Each of their last 4 possessions, with the exception of the fumble, they've driven the ball on Farmington. They just don't have anything to show for it.
They've done a nice job.
First down at the 29-yard line. Just 36 seconds to work with for an offense that relies on running, and running mostly in between the tackles. Give is up the middle, and there is no running room, but boy, give
coming out the other
credit
end
to Wilson. He kept the legs going, and he got a few yards, and now Fruitport will burn another timeout.
Just a little fake toss sweep. Give to Wilson there. It looks like they haven't stopped. He keeps his legs going, keeps good body lean, his hands on the football, and falls forward. Great individual effort, really, to make something out of nothing.
There are 5 Hawks on him at the line of scrimmage, and somehow he got a few yards. Gain 3 on the play. 27 seconds to go now in the first half. 21-0 Farmington Hills Harrison. They have been just as impressive as we thought they would be on offense, but Fruitport has done a nice job of running some clock, moving the ball, and it really could easily be a 14-0 game right now after the turnover the last time they had the ball.
They're doing what they have to do. They just have to find some way to get some points up on the board. Especially, it'd be great going into halftime with a little momentum, a little shot in the arm. If they can hang around, we talked about earlier, if they can hang around, all they want to do is be in a position in that fourth quarter to have a shot to win this football game.
Look at the time of possession in Fruitport's favor. That's exactly how Steve Wilson would have drawn it up if he could. They just haven't been able to put anything on the board. Pendle going deep, has a man, and this one is just out of the reach of Luke Ferguson. He was open in the end zone, could have been 6 for Fruitport.
Well, he got behind Shabbat on that one. Great fake. Now watch him fake the counter there. Sets up, gives it a little too much air that time, just overthrows. Steps in, and 2 guys in his face. Tough throw. They had a crack, though.
He sure did. A couple of times deep downfield they've had a man open. 3rd down now, 7 to go. Fruitport trying to get on the board. Schultz, the ball carrier, has running room across the 20. He's got the 1st down. And again, timeout called. 13 seconds to go.
Good job again by Schultz. Watch Richardson come in and make a nice tackle. Had a good head of steam. Very nice tackle taking the big guy down. Don't take him high, cut him low.
You cannot see the ball when Schultz has it. First of all, he hides behind his big lineman, and then when he wraps it up, he doesn't leave anything showing.
Well, you got Schultz and Ruffner in there. Both those guys do a great job rolling over the ball and covering it up.
And you said it's the black armbands that are the key, right?
Well, they had, I mean, we talked about it earlier, but these guys have run this offense now for at least 4 years, and some of them have run it for 6 years in junior high, and they're very, very comfortable with it. They have it down. They have all the fakes. They carry them out. And Coach Wilson told us, he said, hey, if you guys want to carry the football, the first thing you do is you have to fake, and then you have to block, and then you're going to get a chance to carry the football.
You have to earn the right to carry the football.
That's right.
That's a good look at Steve Wilson talking things over with Greg Schultz and his offense. 11th play of the drive coming up. Fruitport has marched it steadily down the field, but they're still 16 yards away from the end zone. John Andrew Pendle brings his team up. 1st and 10, but just 13 seconds to go from the 16. Running it right side, Langlois trying to get to the corner. He does, and he's knocked out of bounds. Big hit by Agim Shabai.
Did you see that closing speed by Shabai?
Oh, my.
That was very impressive. Take a look here. Watch Shabai down the left corner of your screen. Coming out of nowhere. Watch him close on this one. Boom. That's big. That is big. You can see why he's going to play at Michigan State next year.
Well, Fruitport's going to try to get on the board. They're going to try to kick a field goal here in the final seconds of the 1st half. John Rumpel has kicked 4 field goals this year. This kick is up, and it is just short. Didn't quite get there, and Fruitport's efforts, and they really have done a good job offensively tonight, but they have not been able to crack the Hawks defense to get a score.
Take a look. Great pressure applied there by Mayberry coming off the corner. Very, very good pressure.
Boy, just under the crossbar. Rumpel can't believe it. He thought he had it, and it looked good coming off the tee. 3 seconds to go in the 1st half. Hawks with a comfortable 21-0 lead. They'll have to snap it one more time to get us to halftime. Drew Stanton under center will take the snap. Go down to a knee, and we have reached the end of the 1st half of the Division III championship game at the Pontiac Silverdome. Tough play on both sides. Both offenses doing what they wanted to do, except Fruitport couldn't get into the end zone. Farmington Hills Harrison is impressive as we thought they would be.
You just can't afford a mistake against Harrison. I mean, they have so many weapons, and you got to find a way to slow them down and keep them off the field. And you know, they've done Fruitport's done a nice job controlling the football, but the other end of that is you got to get some points up there. It's nice to have some drives and get 2-3 first downs, but somehow you got to get some points up there. And if you get behind with this offense, I mean, it's very difficult to play catch-up. They're just not skilled at doing that. And the coach says he's going to stay with that offense. That's what they've been schooled at, and that's what they do.
It's not a big play offense. They'll occasionally break a big play, but usually that is a running play and not a passing play. Had a chance a couple of times to break a long pass, but Pendle couldn't quite find his receiver. Well, let's go down to the field. Trevor Thompson has the leading coach at halftime, John Harrington of Harrison.
Thank you very much, Dan. Coach, what pleases you most about the play of your guys in the first half?
Well, it pleases me that we were ahead, but I'll tell you, we can't seem to tackle that fullback. He's killing us, but we're doing okay on offense, moving the ball for the pass.
You haven't let him into the end zone, but they do seem to be moving the ball against your defense. Talk about the way their wing T is operating.
Yeah, they're operating very well. They're blocking well, and the fullback, and we can't. I'm glad I'm not out there. I can't see the ball. I hope the players can. But we haven't had the ball that much. We've done something with it when we have it, but we got to get it away from them more this half.
Really looks like you're running well after the catch. Yards after the catch are really impressive so far. Has that been the key for you so far?
Right. Well, we got athletes who can run after they catch it, and they'll do that. We just got to keep them from controlling the ball on us.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Dan, back upstairs to you.
All right, Trevor, thank you very much. And that was the key in the first half, controlling the ball. Fruitport did the job they wanted to do, but couldn't get on the scoreboard. Drew Stanton is the man. He found Mayberry. He found Shabai. And just for the heck of it, ran one in himself and got greeted by his teammates in the end zone. Stanton and Shabai had the 21-0 halftime lead with the Hawks.
Welcome back to the Silverdome, folks. It's halftime of the Division III Finals. Farmington Hills is up 21-0 over the Fruitport Trojans here at the Silverdome. And Fruitport, it's no surprise because Farmington is not used to losing. However, over the summer, they suffered a loss that this football family may never get over. My colleague Mickey York has the story.
With another undefeated season in the bag, the Harrison Hawks once again seem poised for a state championship, their 5th straight and a state record 12th overall.
Nobody really wants to see somebody win too much, and we won quite a bit. So I don't blame them. They're rooting for the other teams to knock us off, and I would too if I was on the other side. But we got our good Harrison community behind us.
With this team, it's we want to win our own games. We don't want to live on our past games and our past teams. So it's all about winning for us in this team.
On the surface, this seems like any other year at Harrison, but this has been no ordinary season for the Hawks, especially for head coach John Harrington. On June 27th, at the age of 60, his wife Fran died of kidney cancer. Not only did Harrington lose his best friend, but this program lost its biggest fan. What was she like at this time of year?
Oh man, she was a basket case, because she was worried we were going to lose all the time, and but she just loved it, and something, she's missing a great season, but she saw a lot of great seasons too.
Special woman to put up with football for that many years, isn't she?
Yeah, she loved it as much as I did, and it was a great support, and she really let me have all the time to coach, and now I'm trying to figure out how you run a house, and I'm not doing too well.
Harrington would never think to use his wife's passing as momentum to win a football game. But his players can't help but keep thoughts of her in the back of their minds and memories of her close to their hearts.
It happened, I don't know if the coach knew about this, but the team was we all were saying, let's do this for Miss Harrington, let's go out there and win everything. But, I mean, I guess you could say it is for her, but it is in the back of our minds.
She loved all of us pretty much. She was always around. She always gave us inspiration and motivation. She never let us falter. And she was just a great woman, and she was really loved, and we're going to miss her.
Football, especially winning football, has been a pleasant distraction for Harrington and his kids. And fortunately, when he drifts into thoughts of Fran, he has some big shoulders to cry on.
It's been hard for them to really say anything about it, but they're there for me and support me. And what's going to be sad is the incoming players that won't have known her.
And the day that goes by, huh?
Right.
Wow. Obviously a very emotional time for John Harrington as his team searches for their 5th straight state title. And they're looking to cap off a perfect season, but this season has been anything but perfect for Harrington Offit. However, his team does have a 21-0 lead here at the half. We're going to a break, and on the other side of that break, we'll take you to our Detroit Sports Tonight studios. Brad Adam has an update.
The stops as they try to come back from a 21-0 deficit to the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks. Hey, whatever works. Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson.
They're looking for Robin.
Whatever plays you have to pull out in the second half. You got the feeling in the first half watching the Farmington Hills offense, John, that this was an offense that really could do whatever it wanted. Even though they were slowed on occasion, very powerful.
They look like a small college offense out there, Dan. I mean, these guys, the poise, the composure. Take a look. first play here. Just a little slant out there to Shabazz. Watch the second effort. Look at him getting the end zone there. Now here we got right there, right into Mayberry. Puts the ball right where it had to be. And here, great fake, and then Stanton takes it in the end zone himself. Real athletic. Can throw or pass. What a great player.
Now, Fruitport has had some good plays defensively.
Yeah, they made some 2 big hits here. Some real possible drive-ending plays here by Stark. Big tackle in the backfield. It could have been a drive-ender. And here, Wilson coming up. Huge hit there on Woods, their great tailback.
Let's take a look at the first half statistics. Steve Wilson hoping that his team can turn things around in the second half. Our Bell Tire halftime statistics. And really, time of possession in Fruitport's favor, 123 yards. But Harrison has all the points.
They have all the points. Look at the turnovers there, Dan. Coach Wilson before the game said you got to play mistake-free against Harrison. You can't have 2 turnovers.
135 yards passing, and Stanton at quarterback has been everything that we thought he would be. Very sharp, very accurate, and running the offense with a lot of confidence.
He has great presence up there. I'll tell you, he looks like a little small college quarterback right now. I mean, he's a man among boys.
All right, we're looking forward to the second half matchups, Shabai and Stanton. I'm sure we'll hook up a little bit more in the second half. Right now, halftime festivities winding up at the Pontiac Silverdome. We're back for the second half. Farmington Hills Harrison against Fruitport right after these words. Dickerson and John Wangler back at the Pontiac Silverdome, the Division III final. Farmington Hills Harrison attempting to win a 5th consecutive Division III state championship. And they've got the 21-0 halftime lead. Let's go down to the field. Trevor Thompson is standing by with the head coach of Fruitport, Steve Wilson.
Dan, thanks a lot. First off, Coach, your player, Greg Smith, tell us about him. What's his status for the second half?
He's got a deep shin bruise, and he's doubtful for the second half. So we're going to have to go with our backup, Josh Sherman, but I think we'll be okay there.
Tough break for you guys. Let's talk about your offense in the first half. You seemed to move the ball, just couldn't punch it into the end zone.
Yeah, one of the things that we said that we could not do is fumble the ball, and we've done that, and it's absolutely killed our offense. You know, it's working. I talked to the kids about it. There's really no adjustments we need to make other than we have to handle the ball.
What'd you talk to them about at halftime? What'd you say?
You know, just nothing more than that, you know, we are capable of still winning this game if the kids will bond together. And, you know, we just need to hang on the ball, protect it, and keep doing what we've been doing.
3 touchdowns down. Good luck, Coach. Have a great second half. Thank you. Dan, back up to you.
All right, Trevor, thank you very much. And John, as we look at some of the plays from the first half and the deception involved, you have a sense of why this offense has been successful and why Harrison is having a tough time with it.
Take a look here. Pendel taking the snap right here. They got a little motion here. They fake to the fullback. Or did they give it to the fullback? Now he's coming outside, or does the fullback have it here? That's what makes it so difficult. Look at some of the Harrison guys. Harrison.
You've got guys following both sides.
Well, yeah, you can see the deception. These guys are looking. They really got to read their keys. And even when they read their keys as the guards are pulling, it makes it very, very difficult because of the fact with the way they roll over the football, the way they have their arms covering the football, the black armbands. And Farmington Harrison does not see this offense all season long. So they have to really prepare in a week for an offense that's very, very difficult to prepare for.
One time they did see it earlier this year against Plymouth Canton. And Plymouth Canton in that game, even though they were way down, did manage to score 34 points. We'll talk more about that when we come back. Fruitport is back on the field, and so are the Hawks. We're ready for the second half. The start of the second half of the Division III High School Football Championship Final, wrapping up a weekend's worth of football here at the Pontiac Silverdome. Harrison shooting for a 5th straight championship. This is indeed familiar territory for the Hawks, their 20th playoff appearance in the state finals. That is a record. 11 state championships. This would be their 12th, not to mention their 5th in a row.
I'd say that qualifies as a dynasty.
5 straight state championships if they can hang on to a 21-0 lead. And Steve Wilson made it very clear they're not just trying to play the second half to be respectable. They have every intention of making things interesting.
Well, you saw him at halftime. He really believes they can come out and win this football game. They just got to hang together, and they got to make some plays, and they got to put some points on the board. These guys are a team that does not quit.
And the deception involved, as we talked about a little bit, and you can look at the possessions for Harrison. They only really stopped themselves in the first half. 4 drives resulting in 3 touchdowns and a missed field goal. And then at the end of the half, that doesn't really count. So they've been very effective when they've had the ball, and it's an offense that is very, very tough to stop. A stop here would be critical to start the second half. Take a look at Steve Wilson and look at the first half possessions for Fruitport. After that initial possession, when they punted it away, they moved the ball 3 other occasions and chewed up clock. But as we mentioned, didn't get into the end zone, and at the end, a field goal came up short.
Those fumbles just killed them. I mean, you cannot afford a mistake against Harrison.
I thought you put it well. You almost have to play a perfect game to beat Harrison. Almost a perfect game. In Fruitport, certainly I think that was the case. With the style of offense they have, they had to take care of the ball and play a perfect game to have any chance. Because let's face it, coming into this game, they're a heavy, heavy underdog.
Well, yeah, but you know what? These guys, they believe, and they're fighters. They've been together. They're undefeated for a reason. They got an offense that can chew up yards. They have to just find a way to put points on the board.
Fruitport will kick it off. Shabai is one of the deep men, and he's got the ball at the 15-yard line. Across the 25, trying to shake his way out of another tackle, but he's brought down right at the 28-yard line, and that's where the Hawks will start here in the second half. Look at Drew Stanton, a very efficient first half of football, running and passing.
He's been almost flawless. I tell you, he's made plays, hit the passes. He's shown he can run the football when he has to and scramble. Very, very dangerous high school quarterback.
Drew Stanton was a transfer after his sophomore year from Oregon, where he was a defensive back, because they had a very good starting quarterback where he played football in Oregon. Carry for about 6 yards on first down. Robert Stark on the tackle of Marcus Woods. When he transferred to Farmington Hills Harrington, John Harrington said he was a little slow picking up the offense. Agim Shabai was the quarterback, more of an option style quarterback, and Shabai actually started the first 4 games last year. And then Harrington says, it finally hit me over the head, just what I had in Drew Stanton. And the move worked out, as you mentioned earlier, really well for both of them. He gets to quarterback, a weapon like Shabai goes to wide receiver. They haven't been stopped since. Now Stanton lobs it up right side, and that one is caught inside the 40 by Terrell Mayberry.
Nice streak route there by Mayberry, just an up route, really almost like an alley-oop jump ball. Watch this, Stanton takes a 3-step drop, lofts it, gives a lot of air. Mayberry adjusts very well on the football, actually comes off his back shoulder of Mike Boone, the defensive back. Very, very good play. Similar, you see back in the 70s, Bradshaw to Lynn Swan coming off his back shoulder.
Lofty comparison there.
Well, pretty accurate the way these guys have been playing.
Again, Stanton with the 2 fakes, the keeper on the bootleg, but this time Fruitport had it defensed well. Joel Williams fighting off a block to make a stop after a gain of about 3 yards on first down.
Nice ball faking by Stanton on this one. Fake the dive. Shabazz does a nice job covering up. Joe Williams doing a great job, as Dan mentioned, fending off that block and tackling Stanton.
Second down for the Hawks. Their first possession of the second half. We're just underway in the second half of the Division III high school football finals. Stanton fakes, rolls under pressure downfield, has Shabai out of 1 tackle. Down around the 15-yard line in a face mask. Will tack on a few more yards at the end of the run, and Shabai looks like he might be hurt. Greg Mott is the one who dragged him out of bounds. Now Shabai, who looked like he was hurt, bounces up, and he's okay.
He's a tough kid. He is a tough kid. Just a little bootleg action that time out of a 2 tight end set.
Personal foul, face mask, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So that's not the unintentional 5-yarder. That's the half the distance to the goal line from inside the 15.
Well, again, we're talking about mistakes. Fruitport can ill afford any of these type of penalties. Great move there by Shabai, getting to the corner.
Ooh.
He was lassoed.
The crowd booing is the Fruitport crowd because they don't see the face mask. Now dragged down in the backfield. That's Wilson bringing Stanton down for a big loss.
Another big play by Philip Wilson on the defensive end. Not fooled at all by that fake. Watch Wilson, the linebacker, read his key. Fake in there to Woods, comes through. Barely hesitated. Great read by Wilson.
Loss is all the way back outside the 10, so second and goal. Now the short yardage look. Stanton facing pressure, and he is going to go down again. Robert Stark leading the charge for Fruitport.
Big play, Stark.
Good job by that Fruitport secondary. Stanton had a lot of time initially, but he couldn't find anybody open.
That was a coverage sack for sure. Look at that. Covered, staying with him. Stark fighting off a block. Maybe that penalty really fired it up.
May was in there. Greg Schultz was in there.
Well, again, Stanton showed some good moves, just trying to pick up what he could and salvage that play, but these last two plays, Fruitport's defense has really come around.
Third down and goal. The Fruitport crowd on their feet.
We got an equipment problem there.
And Shabai is going to have to sit this play out.
Yep, chin strap.
Stanton back to throw. Facing pressure again, gets it to Woods. He's got blockers in front of him. Cuts it back to the middle of the field, and Fruitport stacks him up short of the 10. So third and goal from the 17. They net about 6 yards. Boone in on the tackle.
Nice play by Boone.
And once again, Farmington Hills Harrison will attempt a field goal by Mike Klusterman.
Watch this screen. Stanton does a nice job looking away, setting it up. Great cuts there by Woods. Tremendous balance. Picks up a good gain there.
Shabai's got the helmet fixed, and he is back in. The holder for Klusterman. Trying to add to a 21-0 Hawks lead early in the third quarter. A little bit of a high snap. Placement down, kick is up, and he missed it wide right. Klusterman, good leg, but he missed it wide right. Second miss of the night. And the Fruitport crowd making some noise. Trojans will get the ball back when we come back on Fox Sports Net. Harrison misses a field goal. Fruitport hoping that might give them a little bit of momentum. Let's take a look at it, John.
Take a look here. Shabai doing a good job to get that football down. Spins the laces. They could tell.
And it looked like as soon as he spun it, the ball started to spin off the tee.
Yeah, exactly.
Great look at that miss. Now Langlois banging off tacklers across the 35 up to the 37. Make it Wilson on the carry.
Take a look here. And now fakes inside to the fullback. Look at Wilson coming off that block. Nice hole. Great running, keeping your knees high. Excellent play off a first down.
What a fine game Philip Wilson has had both offensively and defensively. Now the give up the middle, and there is no running room there for Schultz. Take a look at Stanton over on the sidelines. He's got his sock and shoe off, waiting for some attention. Looks like they're going to retape. So he's not in on defense right now as he has been for most of the game. Normally, he and Shabai do not start defensively, but John Harrington said that they usually start them against teams that pass well. They wanted them in the secondary for this game in case anybody broke through the line. He knew that he and Shabai, with their speed, would be able to track runners down. Hawks thought it was a fumble. Officials ruling that the ball was on the ground after a very short gain. Setting up 3rd and about 5 from the 42-yard line. 17-yard gain by Wilson on 1st down. Now 2 short gains that set up 3rd and 5. Trojan crowd making some noise. Keeper by Pendle, and this time the Hawks weren't buying the fake.
Got a flag here.
Late flag.
Late flag.
The Fruitport crowd reaction tells you
face mask.
Most likely a face mask.
That time Fruitport was in the wishbone.
Face mask, defense, 5-yarder.
Now remember, that's not an automatic 1st down.
Take a look here. Out of the wishbone. Fake the dive, fake the counter. Pendle keeps it, tries to cut up. As he's going down, his face mask grabbed. Big break there for Fruitport.
Boy, you talk about an unnecessary face mask.
Yeah, there was no need. He was on his way down.
The 5-yard step off, just enough for the 1st down. First down at the 47. Fruitport still looking for their first points of the night. Langlois across the 50-yard line. Another good pickup on 1st down. About 6-7 yards. Jake Ganem in on the stop.
That's their bread and butter. It's either a toss sweep or a power sweep. Again, Langlois following his blockers to perfection. That's where he picked up his big yards this season.
They've started to add a lot more of those this year. Usually this is a offense that stays between the tackles, but Steve Wilson says they wanted to open it up, so a few more sweeps.
That's opening up the offense.
They want to get a little crazy, they run a sweep. Now Schultz running inside, across the 35, carrying tacklers to the 31. Condini and Shabai on for the ride for the last 4 yards.
Well, what did Coach Harrington say before half? Watch this, just a little trap inside. Schultz again, huge chunks of yardage. And Coach Harrington, you heard it before halftime. We have to find a way to stop the fullbacks.
Now here's Wilson getting stuffed in the middle. What a great look on that replay at the way that Schultz holds the ball. You can tell that he intentionally holds it below that right hand. He's not locking it up. He's holding it below to hide it.
Good body lean, too. Couple that with his body lean and high knee action, you can't see the football.
No gain on 1st down. 2nd down from the 32. Schultz has been a very productive runner. Look at that. Almost 7 yards a carry tonight, 61 total yards.
Out of the fullback position. Little counter.
Langlois across the 25, near a 1st down. About 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short.
Pickett and Shabai. Take a look here. Watch him pull the guard. Watch him pull that backside guard. Nice kick out there. Big number 75. Boroff. Look at him come around there. Kick out there. Just enough for Langlois to get up in there and pick up that yardage.
Andy Rizzo, the tight end, helping out as well. 3rd and short. Schultz up the middle and fights for the 1st down. Oh, he never goes down on first contact, does he?
Nope.
Greg Schultz, he's just a junior, 5'11", 226 pounds.
Take a look at Big Schultz. Little trap inside there.
What a great job to recognize that he was just resting on the back of the defender, Bill Richardson, and he could get up and get a few more yards. John Andrew Pendle hands it off. Langlois wrapped up after a short gain. Ganem and Shabai in on the tackle.
I'll tell you, Shabai's making a lot of noise there on defense. He's in on almost every other tackle.
This is just about as far as they have gone tonight. Right at the end of the first half, a long drive by Fruitport got deep into Hawks territory, but they came up short on a field goal. Now second down, driving for 6 on this drive. They trail by 21. Wilson, the ball carrier, lose one man, but he ends up going to the turf. Dave Condeni coming in and making him fall to the turf after he eluded the tackle.
Condeni doing a nice job coming up from that strong safety position to force that action.
And now 3rd and long. Play drive, 62 yards, taking time off the clock.
Now this is a Fruitport football right here.
And boy, do they want to find the end zone on this drive. Quick toss to Langlois. He turns it upfield, but he's going to be brought down from behind. That was Marcus Woods coming up to grab the back of his jersey and make sure that he didn't get to the first down marker.
Nice play by Woods. Just a quick toss sweep there, bringing Langlois in motion. Nice play by Woods. Very, very quick pursuit.
4th down, no field goal attempt here. They need 6.
Out of the wishbone, 2 tights.
4th and 4. They're going to throw.
Got him.
They've got a touchdown, Philip Wilson.
What a drive. Take a look here. Pendel, nice ball fake into Langlois. Gets behind Wilson, does a nice little banana there to the corner of the end zone. Great fake, rides him into the line, pulls it out wide open.
That is the perfect description. Rode him into the line. He kept it in his gut for a couple of steps before he pulled it back out. And now the extra point attempt. John Rumpel's kick is up, and oh, he missed it to the left. Slid off his foot. But Fruitport is on the board after an impressive 12-play drive. They score on a pass of all things. A beauty to Wilson, and we've got a 21-6 game. A lot of hard work by the Fruitport Trojans on offense has finally paid off with 6 points.
Just a picture-perfect drive. I'll tell you, they mixed it up, and then to finish it up, pass in the end zone, great, great execution.
Keep it on the ground, but right to the dangerous Woods. Woods across the 30. Look out, he's got good speed, and he's up across the 40-yard line before he's pushed out at about the 42. Take a look at that scoring drive by Fruitport. That's a perfect drive. 13 plays, 80 yards, 6.5 minutes off the clock.
That would have made Bo Schembechler proud.
You like those kinds of drives?
Yeah, actually I did. I like a couple more passes mixed in there. But those aren't bad. Our defense always liked those kind of drives, Dan.
That's right.
Get to rest up a little bit.
Now Fruitport's defense now hopefully rested up for the Fruitport fans. Shabai, handoff from Stanton, and Fruitport was waiting for him. Good defensive work by Rob Newton. Stayed home and made sure Shabai wasn't going anywhere.
That's very disciplined defense there by Fruitport. Newton did an excellent job reading his keys, staying in there, fighting off a block, not getting fooled on that reverse by Shabai.
Long conversation along that far sidelines. Drew Stanton having a word with John Harrington. And we have reached the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-0 halftime lead has been cut down to 15. Fruitport controlled the 3rd quarter, and it was a pass to Wilson that got Fruitport on the board. Start of the fourth quarter, the final 12 minutes of the year for Fruitport and Farmington Hills Harrison. Final game of championship weekend at the Silverdome. And Fruitport is starting to make things interesting. Quick toss, left side. Good gain on second and long. Mayberry again, the intended receiver. He takes it up to midfield. Let's take a look back at that third quarter because it was really, John, all Fruitport.
Total dominance there. Nice job, time of possession.
Harrison did have a drive into and deep into Fruitport territory, but they missed a field goal. Now Stanton looking out here, and he's going to miss his receiver in and out of the hands. Uncharacteristic for Charles Pickett not to hang on to that ball.
That was a big-time throw there. Stanton just comes back and throws a rope on a 15-yard out.
4th down and 2. Now remember, Drew Stanton is the punter. So as we see players come on and off the field and Stanton stay in, well, he's under center. Let's see what happens. See if he drops back. He will.
They better get somebody back there.
Langlois quickly makes the adjustment and drops back for Fruitport. Stanton averaging 35 yards a punt. High spiraling kick. Langlois, no fair catch. He's going to try to make something out of it, but he's going to be dragged down for a loss of 5. Mayberry up to make the hit. And for one of the few times tonight, Langlois has been corralled on a return.
That's the third big open field tackle that Mayberry has made.
Boy, not a bad idea to try to get around him, but Mayberry just too quick.
No, he's very, very good in the open field.
Fruitport chewed up a lot of time in the third quarter. 6.5 minutes on their last drive. Let's see if they can continue to move the ball. Really, John, Farmington has not shown they can stop Fruitport on really any of their last 5 drives.
No, they have moved the football. It's just those turnovers that killed them.
Schultz running up the middle, continues to bounce off tacklers like they're not even there across the 20-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down. Condeni in on the tackle.
Looks like they're attending to Shabai there on the sidelines, checking his vision a little bit.
Remember when he took the hit out of bounds and fell hard, shaken up a little bit. Here's a run up the middle that's going nowhere, and maybe that was something that is lingering with Agim Shabai. Let's go back to that play. Shabai checking back into the game. Right there. Holy smokes.
Get him out of here.
Was that before or after the toss against the wall? Pendle on the keeper on 3rd down is going to be knocked out of bounds a yard or 2 short, and guess who? Agim Shabai was the one who came up and drove him out of bounds.
Shabai's a football player, I'll tell you. He is doing it at both sides of the line of scrimmage. Watch
John,
him.
4th and 1, what do you do?
We're watching Shabai right here make another great play. I'll tell you, Dan, they're probably going to go for it, especially because of this type of offense. If you had a different type of offense, I don't think you go for it in this position, but you talk about if you don't make it.
2 for 2 on 4th down for Fruitport. 4th and 1 here. They've got the 1st down. Langlois off the right side, and the Trojans pick up a key 1st down from deep in their own territory at their own 24-yard line.
Now this is confidence in their offense. Watch this. Just an isolation with Langlois. Great blocking. Wilson and Schultz leading the way. Excellent effort by Langlois. That's great, great confidence in your offense of line and your running backs.
They are in day and Ganem in on the stop, and it's a big, big 1st down for Fruitport. John mentioned it's an offense that takes a lot of time off the clock. Long pass and laying out for it, but not quite reaching it is Langlois. And again, we see Fruitport get behind the Hawks defense because of the fine faking by the quarterback, John Andrew Pendle.
Take a look here. Watch him ride. Watch him ride the back into the line. Pendle's nice throw. They have been so close on probably 3 passes. That time Langlois got behind Mayberry as well as Stanton.
He throws a pretty nice looking ball on some of those deep routes. He just has missed by a yard or 2 about 3 times.
Yep.
Second down. The give is left side Wilson, and he has very little running room, setting up 3rd and about 9. Marcus Woods comes up to make the stop. So another big 3rd down, but at this point in the game, you're probably looking at 2 more downs for Fruitport if they don't get it here. We can look at the play selection. That's a wide open offense when you throw 7 passes for Fruitport in a game.
He's getting real wild and crazy.
9 minutes to go. Fruitport is hanging tough with one of the most powerful teams this state has ever seen. Wilson, right side, is going to be knocked down at the 35, well short of the 1st down. Shabai coming over again.
Again, that's the first time we've seen the option out of that, Dan. Take a look here. Out of a power I set, fake to the tailback, coming out, bringing the wing back along. Wilson, nice job in the pitch phase. Fake the ISO, coming down, optioning that outside linebacker. Nicely executed play.
Fruitport will not risk going for it on 4th and 4. Newton in to punt it away, and he gets a pretty good punt off. Very good punt, drives Woods inside his own 35-yard line. So Fruitport now, the clock is their enemy, down 15, just 8 minutes to go, and a typical drive for them to score is 4 or 5 minutes, and that's what they have to be thinking about right here. Let's head down to Trevor Thompson.
Dan, Harrison took practice Wednesday at Michigan State University in preparation for this game. And it's interesting because that's where Shabai and Stanton will go to school next year. But John Harrington reminded them that they still had 1 more game to play for the Hawks before they got too excited about their next step in football, which will culminate here in the state title, it looks like. Back up to you.
Woods running up the middle across the 40-yard line. Mac Seitzma brings him down there. A lot of people were wondering if the Hawks might look past Fruitport because they were such heavy favorites. And John Harrington said, these guys haven't looked past anybody all year. They love to play football. They love to go out and play their best. Every game is a challenge. He said, I haven't seen them look past anybody all year, and he didn't expect that to happen tonight. And I don't think it has. I think you give Fruitport some credit.
Fruitport came in. Well, look at it, outscored at 39 points a game. You can tell these guys are having fun.
Woods looking for the 1st down, and he got it crossing the 44-yard line, almost to the 45-yard line.
Newton.
Boy, Shabai's had more problems with his helmet tonight.
Well, he used that helmet, believe me. He sticks his head in there. He's making big hits, big collisions. I have been very, very impressed with his ability on both sides of the ball.
I tell you, for a guy who's doesn't have the biggest build in the world, he's 5'10", 180 pounds. He comes up and sticks his head in there defensively. 1st down, Stanton rolling right. Looked like a design keeper play, and he's going to be brought down near midfield and brought down a little awkwardly. Hate to see that back leg fold under. Jacob Keel coming up to make the hit, and we have a flag at the end of the play. No, maybe there wasn't a flag on the play. Keeper by Stanton gains 4 yards, just shy of midfield.
That was a design quarterback keeper the whole time. Just a quarterback sweep. They had the receivers trying to run off the defensive backs. Real safe play at this point in the game.
Shabai split wide left. It's Mayberry to the right. Tosses to Woods running left side, and he's going to get the 1st down across the 45. This is what Harrington wanted to do. John Harrington and Harrison wanted to do.
Just playing power football, Dan. They're just grinding it out now.
Run a little clock of their own.
Yep. That's the great luxury Coach Harrington has, is he can play either kind of style. He's got the ability to run the football, grind it out, and they can throw the football and be very effective whenever they want to be.
And he really has adjusted his teams through the years, hasn't he, to what the talent that he has.
Oh, he's that, and you get a guy like Milt Coleman on the sideline over there, one of the assistant coach. You get an offense for that. You have an offense for this type of talent.
Flag flies before the snap, and that usually means somebody lined up in the neutral zone defensively. See if that is the case here. Unless there was some movement along the line.
Dead ball, false start, offense, remains first down.
Yep, just a little jerk there by the right guard, Pat Corcoran. So they march Farmington Hills back 5 yards. $21-0 lead at the half for Farmington Hills Harrison. Fruitport came out after a missed field goal, went 80 yards, took 6 minutes off the clock, and scored for the first time tonight. Marcus Woods left side, tripped up in the backfield. Good job slicing in. Joel Williams making the stop in the backfield.
I've called Joel's name a couple times out here today. Doing a nice job coming out of his outside linebacker position.
Wilson brings the play in from the sidelines. A defensive set on 2nd and long. Drew Stanton, 2,600 yards passing this year. And again, this is a team that often would pull its first string at the end of the 2nd quarter, bring them in at the start of the 3rd quarter for maybe a series or 2 more before resting them the rest of the day. This pass, Stanton is caught. Charles Pickett, not enough for the first down across the 40-yard line. But now it's 3rd and short.
Nice little play action pass. Real safe, conservative pass. Stanton rolls in there. Just a little turnout that time by Pickett. They had Shabai running off the cornerback. Real, very safe, conservative passing game. Don't take a lot of chances. Hang on to the football. Excellent drive so far by Harrison.
And the clock now winding down very much in Harrison's favor. When Fruitport was forced to punt, you knew they needed the ball right back if they had a chance to win this game. Now delay of game called on Farmington Hills Harrison on 3rd and 3. So they'll back him up 5. Didn't seem like they took an inordinate amount of time.
I was going to say, that was a pretty quick delay of game.
Dead ball, delay of game, offense.
Well, they were in a too tight set earlier with a power eye. This time they bring the split ends back in and go to a slot with Shabai. They got twins to the field.
4 wide receivers, fake the handoff. Stanton on the keeper, has the first down and more. Look out, he's got some blocking, but he's going to be brought down just across the 30-yard line. Look who comes up to make the tackle. Robert Stark, the lineman, all the way downfield to wrap him up and bring him down. Big gain, though, by Stanton on 3rd and long. He gets it all the way down to the 29-yard line.
Same play they scored with in the first half. Nice play by Stanton, good fake. Now watch these moves. Look at those, cutting back, reversing his field. Ran back into the pursuit. Huge first down to pick up there by Stanton. Great individual effort.
Well, whatever was wrong with his ankle that needed taping, it doesn't seem to be bothering him now. Gain of 13 yards by Stanton. First down inside the 30. Handoff is to Shabai. He bounces it outside, trying to use that great speed, and he does to gain a few yards. But it looked like he might be taken out of bounds by Rumpel.
Again, a little counter there by Shabai. Watch this little jive step. Great cut there. Breaks it to the outside. Rumpel doing a real good job coming up. The cornerback as well as Newton, the defensive end.
They give him just 3 yards, and anytime you can hold Shabai to 3 yards, whether it's a pass or a run, you feel like you've gained a minor victory. Now Woods running right side. He's going to be wrapped up, but he slips out of the tackle, and look out. Inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line. Good, hard running by Marcus Woods. Langlois finally brings him down, but not until he gets inside the 5 at the 4.
Just a little inside counter that time. Watch the fake to the fullback. Watch Woods bounce it out, sets it up, keeps those legs. Great back. You can. Right there, Shabbat. You saw him sticking it. He does it all.
22-yard gain for Woods. Woods is going to get it and walk into the end zone. Oh, is there a hole up the middle? Marcus Woods walked into the end zone.
It don't come much easier than that one.
And Farmington Hills Harrison on its way now to a 5th consecutive state championship.
That was pretty easy, Dan. Watch this. Watch this hole.
He pulled up at the 2.
Amazing.
The extra point is up. It is good. Mike Klusterman with the extra point. Farmington Hills Harrison with an impressive drive, capped off by some impressive running by that young man, Marcus Woods. Farmington Hills Harrison in control. Some good running by that young man, Marcus Woods, has Farmington Hills Harrison on top 28-6. We're going to be hearing more about him next year. You look at the scoring drive, 10 plays, 67 yards, and 32 TDs now for Marcus Woods. And how about 32 TDs and 1 fumble, John?
That's
all year.
That's very impressive.
On the far sideline, Mike Boone has it for Fruitport across the 20-yard line. Woods is just a junior, gained over 1,500 yards with this game here tonight. And Marcus Woods certainly is going to be heard from next year. First down for Fruitport. Just under 3 minutes to go in this championship game. Not much they can do to open up the offense. Farmington Hills looking for them, I'm sure, to be passing the ball, but this is a running offense, and they pass on downs where Steve Wilson says the other team shouldn't expect to pass, and that's really been true throughout the night tonight.
They pass infrequently.
Second down and 4. They'll pass right here and complete the pass across the 40-yard line, across the 45, across the 50-yard line. Luke Ferguson keeping the legs churning, and they get it all the way across the 50. One of the best gains tonight through the air.
Great game. Shabai again in on that stop. Real good fake. Take a look. Little counter action, comes back out like a little soft bootleg, drills it in there. Great running there. Big play.
Fruitport now playing a little bit of hurry up, and Langlois is going to take it across the 40-yard line, inside the 40, down to the 37, near another first down.
Hey, there's no quitting these Trojans. These guys have come a long way. You can see why they're undefeated. They're playing their hearts out. Nothing's going to stop them, even when it looks a little dismal. They're continuing to keep going after for Harrison.
This is a team that averaged 43 points a game during the regular season. One thing they've not been able to do is break off a long run tonight, as they would do frequently during the regular season. Pendle over the middle. The ball is caught and then separated from the receiver after a big hit from Dave Condeni. Mike Boone had it, and then Condeni knocked it away.
Condeni's had a great game back there from a strong safety position. He's been in on many tackles and made some real key plays. Watch this. Nice faking there by Pendle. Puts the ball right there. Big hit.
Oh.
Big hit.
Mike Boone popped right back up after the big hit. It's 3rd and short now for Fruitport. Schultz has it. He is grabbed around the neck by Condeni and dragged down inside the 30. Clock winding down to 1:21. Fruitport has a lot to be proud of, John.
They really do. They played their hearts out. Coach Wilson's got a great group of kids here. this is something they'll remember their whole life. Just being able to get out here and play 4 hard quarters against Harrison. These guys have nothing to be ashamed of, believe me.
Langlois, the ball carrier, right side, another good gain down to about the 20-yard line. Farmington Hills Harrison was held under 40 points only twice this year. One time it was because of rainy field and 5 turnovers. The other time against a very tough Saginaw team last week. They have not been held under 30 points in a game this year, and Fruitport is going to do that tonight, just to give you a feel for how powerful this Hawks offense has been all year long.
Well, the preparation that Coach Wilson had for a week to prepare for Harrison and to be able to do the kind of job they've done defensively, your hat's off to him.
44 seconds to go. Pendle's going to go to the end zone, and this one is intercepted. Intercepted deep in Hawks territory. Terrell Mayberry is the one who came up with the interception, and that ends the last drive of the night for Fruitport. Hawks have it when we come back. Final seconds of the championship game, the Division III final. The Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks are going to win their 5th consecutive championship, thanks in large part to that young man, Drew Stanton, and Agim Shabai. Look at Shabai along the sidelines a moment ago. He's headed to Michigan State with Drew Stanton. Waiting for the final snap of this game. After the pickoff by Terrell Mayberry, Stanton will take one last snap, go down to a knee, and Farmington Hills Harrison, unless Fruitport stops the clock, will have their 5th consecutive championship. Here's our selection, the Michigan player of the game, Drew Stanton. Look at those numbers. Very efficient night throwing the ball, 14 of 18, 212 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and just ran the offense to near perfection. And at the end of the game, when they really needed a score, they got it. Final seconds tick off the clock. The Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison, another state championship. Handshake in the middle of the field. The Harrison Hawks have won 36 consecutive games over the last 3 seasons and their 5th consecutive state championship.
What a dynasty, Dan. What can you say? I'll tell you, they have got it going on. They have a tremendous program, tremendous coaches. Very, very, very impressive.
Agim Shabai, you can tell the emotion for him as he wins another state championship. Doesn't matter how many you have. I don't think it ever gets routine. These players love to play, and this is the ultimate prize that they play for. We'll be back for the trophy presentations at the Pontiac Silverdome. Division III championship won by the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks, but not after a fight from Fruitport, the final 28-6. It's time for the awards presentation. Look at the emotions. Drew Stanton overcome by emotion after a Farmington Hills Harrison championship, their 5th in a row, his 2nd. He's been at the school for the last 2 years. Head coach next to him, John Harrington, now with his arm around Agim Shabai, and you can only imagine the emotions for John Harrington, the head coach. This is the first championship that he has won without his wife Fran, who passed away, as you saw in our halftime feature. 38 years of marriage, and she was, as one person put it, really an integral part of the Harrison football program. She wasn't just somebody who was around. She really was a bridge to the community, as somebody put it. She attended every one of John Harrington, her husband's games, 407 of the 408 he coached in his career. She was his friend and his most loyal supporter, and his thoughts have been with her throughout much of this year. They are with her every day. Now time for the trophy presentation down on the field. The happy group of Hawks surrounding their head coach. They've been a source of comfort for him throughout the year.
Farmington Hills Harrison High School.
Now the trophy presentation to the champions.
Accepting the championship trophy is Coach John Harrington. Our congratulations to Farmington Hills Harrison, the 2001 Division III football champions.
Condeni, Shabai, and Stanton, the co-captains, all out with their head coach.
We have an announcement for Fruitport fans. There will be a celebration of champions held at the Fruitport High School Gymnasium tomorrow at 3 p.m. Everyone, welcome, and thank you for your support.
That's great to hear. If you heard the announcement in the background, there will be a rally at Fruitport High School. And John, you look at Fruitport and what they did this year. You talk to the people from that school, from that community. This football team meant everything to that community, and it turned the entire side of the state on. Fruitport, great year.
That's really what high school football is all about. I mean, you know, community rallies around, especially in those smaller communities in northern Michigan. That's what makes it special. And these kids that will forever be part of the lore of that city.
Let's go down to the field now. Trevor Thompson standing by with two of the stars from the Harrison Hawks.
Dan, thank you very much. Let's start with you, Drew. Very emotional for you right now. What's going through your mind?
It is. It's just it took a lot out of us. They gave it all they had, and it's our last game for us seniors, and we went out on a good note, but it's still sad leaving the way we just having to.
Can you talk about what it means to this team to win this year for Coach Harrington, knowing that his wife passed over the summer? How does that affect you guys now?
Well, we kind of dedicated the season to her because she had a major role in this program, and it really affected us all when she lost, especially Coach. So we want to do our best just to make sure his mind stayed off Fran, or some keep a positive note for her.
On an individual note for you, does this one better for you than last year, knowing last year was your first year after the transfer?
They're both special. I mean, some people are lucky to win one, and we're fortunate enough to win 5 in a row. So it's just, I mean, each one, just got to cherish both of them.
Congratulations, Drew. Now game over to you. Great game by you. I know you guys practiced at Michigan State earlier this week. Got a feel for that. Talk about making the next step after winning 5 titles here.
It's going to be hard for both of us. We got a new program to learn. But right now I'm just concerned about our championship we won right now. It's just one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. Being a senior and everything, I'm just so happy.
5 straight for the program. Can the winning tradition continue with you guys graduating next year?
Of course, we got a great tradition here. Everyone wants to work hard. If they keep doing it, they'll keep coming here and winning it.
Congratulations, and all the best next year to you. Thanks a lot. Dan, let's go back upstairs to you and John.
All right, thank you very much, Trevor. And boy, you can just see the emotion. And if you're wondering whether championships ever get old, I think all you have to do, John, is look at the faces of those two young men, even though they know they're going to be together next year, overcome by emotion right now.
Well, you know, this is something very, like you said, you know, some people are lucky to win one. These guys have won 5 in a row. It doesn't get any better. And your high school, no matter how far you go in sports, your high school career is very, very special to you, and it means so much.
Those two are going to hook up for a lot more passes.